Hello, everybody. I'm back. Still can't raise this arm very well, but I went to Joann's this morning and I'm going to roll off the floor edge right now so I don't break any more of the pieces of floor that we've got to put back down. But I went to Joann's because the closeout, what do they call it? Last chance fabric table. Everything on the last chance fabric table, 70% off the current clearance price. Let me get rid of this. And if you will please excuse the construction type stuff in the background. It is what it is until it isn't. And I am going to paint this room in the green that you can kind of see the lizard on the wall back there. It's called Retreat is the name of the color. And so I'm going to get 2 gallons of it and I'll paint from the kitchen around all the way around in here. But the reason for this video is I want to get, as soon as my room gets back together, I want to have fabric ready. I want to have any patterns I want to use this year. I want to get it all together, pre-washed, ready to go. So as soon as I'm back together fully in this room, I can begin working on Project Dress-A-Girl 2025. Now, I've done this every year that Maddie has hosted it. So all 4 years so far. And so why not do 5? And so I said, well, I bet I could get some beautiful fabrics on that closeout table. And I did check to make sure they weren't, sometimes on that closeout table, you get fabrics that are really kind of sheer and you end up having to line them. And I don't want to spend time lining them. So I did check all my fabrics. I have some other items, but I'm going to go over the Project Dress-A-Girl prints first. I spent today, everything I bought was over $70, but it's for a good cause. Excuse Howard as he comes through. He says, Tippy, if you're giving up that basket, I sure would love it. Let's see. These are my remnants. I want to get down and tell you what I paid for some of the fabrics. So I did get where I could. I got 2 yards of each fabric, and they were all between $3.30 and $6.59 for the 2 yards. And then I've got some smaller pieces that are just what they had left on the bolt. And then one bolt had a piece that they married in, which it was a little over a yard, so it couldn't be made into a remnant. So that when I say it's married in, it means they just opened the bolt and laid that in and then rolled it back up in. So I went ahead and bought that for them so they didn't have a small piece floating around. And then I got remnants and 1 pattern, but we're going to do the fabrics first. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one. I might have to stand up just so you guys can see these. This is an adorable fabric. It's like a story fabric, and it's got unicorns on it and animals. And this one was one of those, between the 3. What did I tell you guys it was? $6.59, $5.99, or $3.29. Yeah. So no more than $6.59 per dress. Put it that way. All right. So there was this one. And I thought that would make an adorable little dress. I did not buy fabrics to make pockets out of because I probably have stuff in my stash. I picked up the strawberry print. I think this one wasn't quite what I asked for, but I went ahead and bought it because isn't it adorable? Hi, Goldie. Hi, Pam. Hi, Pam. Pam 1, Pam 2. And then this one, the dolphins. I thought that would be an adorable dress. Miss Catherine folded them so nice. Catherine used to work for me when I worked at when I was managing at Joann's. All right, this is the married piece. So I have two pieces of this, both just slightly over 1 yard. So they couldn't be made into remnants because they're over a yard. But between the two, I can get one dress out of there. I got a bunch of fabric for Project Dress a Girl. And I think I had bought this before, but I went ahead and bought enough to make another dress with that. All of these will get serged on the cut edges, and I'll pre-wash them. Now, some of this is for another project. This is another Project Dress a Girl dress because aren't these fun flamingos? So those were all for Project Dress a Girl right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, maybe more dresses there because, you know, if you make a smaller size. Also on that table back there, I found this, and it's an adorable sheep pattern, and they're knitting. And so I'm going to make project bags out of this. And to go with this, I got this to line it with. And won't those make pretty project bags? And some of these will be gifts. But again, those all have to be pre-washed. And then I picked up some remnants. I got some cotton batting. It was $29.99. This is a 1 yard cut. But then I think it's 75% off on the remnants. So for this piece, I paid $4.50. I'm going to try to get the label off. This will not get pre-washed because it's batting. But it's enough to do a baby quilt or two. It's really wide. And then I'd have all the little remnant pieces to do slow stitching with. Then I got some more remnants. Well, the remnants are 75% off. And look, they've switched to paper bags. Aren't these pretty? So I'm going to put the fabric back in here because I've got to do all the serging on those edges so I can wash these. Let me see if I can move back in closer. I feel like I'm so far away. I will be so glad when this floor is back down so I don't have to worry about rolling off the edge. Try not to damage any more pieces. Isn't the butterfly fabric beautiful? And I love the unicorn fabric too. So this was a 0.611, so like 2/3 of a yard for $3.65. But I paid 62 cents for it, I believe. 62 cents for this. So it's over a half a yard. And it's a cotton, quilter's cotton, see, so you get it open here. Yeah, so it's a little over a half a yard. And it's got a swirly print on it. And I do pre-wash these as well, so I'll just throw that in the bag. Then this one with the little ladybugs, I was kind of hoping this would have been in the back on the clearance table, but I didn't see it. This one, I think I paid $1.17 for it. But again, these I could mix and match fabric to like make the bodice out of this and then give it a pink or a red skirt and just use stuff I have in my stash that I need to use up. So all these remnants I paid $1.17 or less. not counting the cotton batting. Oh, this arm is so stiff, you guys. At least I'm not wanting to scream every time I move it. It started right here, just hurting, right in the back of this muscle. And then it went all around my arm and into my shoulder. And I rotated between heat and ice yesterday and just sat in my chair all day, which I hate to do that. So I feel like I'm being lazy. This, I would love to get this like a full piece. This is almost a full yard. But it's so cute. It's got little bumblebees on it. I'm just chunking that back in that bag. And then this one, I only paid 21 cents for this. And it's not quite a half a yard. But if you're just wanting to get into sewing and you just want something to practice with, that closeout table is the place to go. Like if you want to do a practice or a toile of an outfit or a top or something, that's where I would go to get a material to try it in. But this is, I thought, was really dainty. The only problem is when you go to a single layer, what happens is I can see, you guys can't see through it very well, I don't think, but with the light behind it, I can see through it. So this might get used in like maybe a quilt or a small project. And then the last piece of fabric I picked up was this one with the watermelons. So on this was exactly 1 yard. I could go back and keep an eye out in the remnant bin for just black and white check to pair with this. And I just love it. It just looks like you could take a bite out of that watermelon, doesn't it? So I'm getting prepared for Project Dress a Girl. I've got a bag full of fabric here. I will pre-wash it and have it ready to go. Then the Simplicity patterns were on sale for $2.99. So I picked up this one, and it's only from a size 1/2, which is like a baby size, 6 months, to a 4. Excuse me. And it looks like it can be made out of, well, it says they can only be, now I'm reading the back of this, it has to be stretch knits. That's okay. But when I looked at this one, that looks like it's a woven fabric, doesn't it? What do you think, made by Pam? That looks like a woven dress to me, not a knit. But on the back, it says stretch knits only. And it's got the knit guide on the bottom, and I didn't even pay attention to that because I just thought it was such a cute little dress. It does call for a button, though, at the neckline. Where do you use a length of elastic cord? But I also liked the little bag you can make to match. I don't know. I might open it up and read the instructions. This is cotton and cotton blends for the appliques. They all require a 1/2-inch button at the neckline, which I've figured out a way to alleviate that just by modifying the pattern to give it just a little V cut at the back that just makes the neck opening wider to get over a head. I might try making one up in woven fabrics with that little trick at the neckline and see what it looks like. It doesn't take a lot of fabric. So a size 1/2 would use 7/8 of a 60-inch wide fabric to a size 4 of 1 1/8. Tippy weight. But anyway, I just thought it was a really cute little pattern. And yeah, we got both our Pams are in here, Made by Pam and Stitch It Pam. So that was what I spent over $70 on today. But I've got a good start to, it says you have saved $214.58 by buying off the closeout table. It says I bought 22.917 items. I don't know. I'm not sure how you buy 0.917 of an item, but they're probably talking the, the remnants. That gives you the decimals. So anyway, that was that. Now, I didn't go get it, and I meant to go get it. I was talking the other day about using this remnant that I got, and I was going to look for something kind of plasticky to use on the inside, because what I'm going to use this for are the brushes I bought to use with my pastels only. These will be pastel only brushes. And that's what I ordered them for. That's what these are made for. They're an acrylic bristle, and they're made to use with your pastels. So I looked, and at Walmart, they had the perfect fabric, but getting someone to that cutting counter, forget it. And then I ended up spending 35 minutes waiting in line, even at the self-checkout. And I didn't even, I decided I went and got in a regular line. And I thought, well, this is going to take. And then me and the lady in front of me, we were like, do you want to go over? They're opening that one. And, by the time you turn to go over there, 6 people have already lined up. I said, you know what? It's 6 of one thing, half a dozen of another. I'm going to stay here and we can just chat. So I chatted with her. And then, yeah. But anyway, then while I was standing in that long, slow line, I got to thinking, I've got that liquid vinyl that I bought a while ago that I read about in my favorite magazine that they're not making anymore, Quilts and More, about the liquid vinyl, and you paint it on and it turns any fabric into like wax cloth. So that's what I think I'm going to do with this, because then that would make the surface on the inside and outside wipeable. And I just don't know if this fabric is too thick for that or not, but we're going to give it a go. So when I go to do that, I've got to get something put down to protect the surface here. I'll come on and we'll see how that product works together. I'm just going to go ahead and coat this whole piece, even though I'll probably only use about half of it for, my pouch. See how big it is? It's a big piece because it's like, 60 inches wide? No, 45, probably about 45 inches. Okay, I can do a tutorial for the little bag you mean the one that I just recently made? I can do that with you guys. Give me a day or two to finish healing from whatever I've done to myself. And yeah, I'll come on. We might want to, let me see when I get feeling better, and I will do that. But what I'll do is I'll do an announcement ahead of time. I'm going to write on here, tutorial for basket for chunky little basket. Start making myself notes. I need to do a couple pictures, paper collage. I don't know if you guys want me to do that out with you like I did the black cat, or if you'd rather just see the end product, because it does take hours and hours to work on those. And then I'm going to do the liquid vinyl project. Liquid vinyl project. So that's 2 videos or get-togethers with y'all. And then I've got another collage. Now, hey, talking about that black cat collage that I did you all see Miss Lena's kitty cat that she did yet? Was it yesterday? Yesterday, when I was in the chair, I sat and watched Lena. That's Miss Lennox. Is it 2010? You go watch her collage. She did a cat yesterday in paper collage. You struggle with the round and what's really important is when you're working round and round and you're not doing a join and a chain one to jump you up to the next. If you're working a spiral, you have to mark that very first stitch. As soon as you make that first stitch on the next round, move your marker to that stitch because you will lose it in no time. So we'll do that basket together. It might not be quite as big as that, but we can, if you want one that size, we can do it. But you can make your basket any size you want. You just stop increasing when you get to the diameter that you like. You stop the increasing and then you just work round and round and round. But it's imperative that you always mark that first stitch. You use the same marker, you just move it up a stitch. You make that first stitch on that next round, move your marker up to that one, and that way you'll know when you get back. I'm intrigued about the vinyl as well. I would run and get it, but the back room, no. I so want to get my space back. But you can see Scott's doing sheetrock repair that he didn't get to do when we were rushing, thinking we were going to sell the house. So now he wants to do those repairs. He's done the ones over here. He's got more sanding on that one corner where it's really white right there. That corner has never been right, and it's bothered him. So I'm letting him fix them. And as soon as he's done with the sheetrocking, I'm gonna go get the paint and paint this room. But I can't do that until I can move my arm again. What's that, Shannon? What's the link for? Oh, yeah. Shannon has done baskets too. Just skip them if you don't want to watch them. You know, it's like, I don't know how to not have them during the live. I've put them so they are supposed to only come on every 18 minutes. Yeah. So we will get together and do a basket together if you would like to, or you can go watch the video. But if you want a nice chunky basket, if you've got 2 or multiples, like my basket, let me go get it and I'll show you. That I can get to easily. This is the one I just made right here. And what I did is I did my increases on the bottom in spiral fashion. And then when I started working my way up, it wasn't coming in a little bit. So I did 4 decreases in quarters. So I divided my bag. So I had, like, there's 1 decrease on this side, 1 decrease on that side, 1 in the middle, and 1 in the middle. That way it brought it in more. And then I created the handles on the sides. So this I made with the leftover, tiny little leftover balls of yarn that I had. I have another bag here. This is for my I made this little bag here to hold. These are just what's left of kitchen cotton. So if you wanted a chunky basket, maybe using kitchen cotton, you would have to hold like 6 of these together. Um, and then it would be a very mixed bag basket, mixed bag basket. But I made this one to hold the colorful threads that I want to make hearts and flowers with. So that's that. Mary Lou, Auntie Loopy, that you've seen Mary Lou in chats, I'm sure. She made a basket, and I think she said she held 6 4-ply yarns together, just random yarn from her stash. And she held 6 of them together and used a fairly big hook. This is a PQ. And this is what I used to make this basket because I had 2 chunky yarns. They were all a size 5 yarn. And I just switched them up so that I could carry like the red from the bottom up the sides a bit. As I worked along, when I got to the end of that round, I would just switch out the color. Like sometimes I switched both colors, but then I got to thinking, why not just switch one and then switch the opposite one when I got around again? And that's how I ended up with all of this. Even the very top is 2 different yarns. And then I had one of the little chunky hearts I had made a while ago that I came across when I was cleaning up. So I tied it on. I've been looking for yarn pins, like a Girl Scout would get, little merit pins, but have them with a yarn theme. And I love to pin that kind of thing onto my bags and baskets. I have another basket, not sure where it is, that I've pinned a bunch of things on, which I thought was cool. Hi, Mama Juju. What is a PQ in millimeters? I don't know. PQ. Does it say? Oh, there it is. 15 millimeters. 15 millimeters. This one's done by Jubilee Yarns. And if I remember right, I got some of these as a single, and then I got a set from JL. JL sent me a set that had a PQ, an S, and a T in it, I think. So, yeah. Those big chunky needles, they're fun to use, but maybe that's how my arm got tired. I don't know, because you use your whole arm trying to manage all those strands of stuff. Let's see. Or maybe a cat-sized one. You would just keep increasing. It's a 15 millimeter. Or as a lady that used to shop in the store, she would come in and she'd say, I need 15 M&M beads. And I didn't know what she was talking about. I couldn't figure out what an M&M bead was. Because, my brain went to candy. I'm looking over this way because that's where you guys are. But I'll try to talk into the camera because some people get very offended if you talk at your computer off to the side, even though that's where you get your questions from and stuff. But it is what it is. Hi, Angie. I am not going to stay on long. I just wanted to share all the beautiful fabric I picked up because even if I do 2 or 3 dresses a month, by September, when it comes time to mail them in, that would give me a nice count for the year. And I wouldn't be trying to rush and, do too much all in one day. And I do have other sewing that I want to do. If you guys missed Carol and Ann stitching about an hour and a half ago, go back and watch the replay. Carol was sharing things and Ann shared her stitch journal. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get out some muslin and maybe do a 12-inch block and then maybe do it at 12 and a half. And then if I wanted to, I could turn around and turn it into a memory quilt. just something to think about. Or I could put them, do my squares and do all the stitching for each month on there. And then I could put them back to back and turn them into a 6-page book, because you'd have January and February, and then March and April, May, June, so on. So that's what I'm thinking I might do, because I fell through on the scroll so bad. I've got my scroll here somewhere. And when I start putting my room back together, I might share it again. Bunion knots. It's basically a French knot with a whole lot more wraps. And if you want to see somebody that's really, really phenomenal with bullions, you need to watch Susan Taylor Brown. So Canadian, hello. Yeah, and I feel kind of bad that I have not picked up a coordinating fabrics to go with the dresses, but I think because I have so many trims and laces and things, I'm just going to do the pockets with additional trim on them instead of having just like focal pockets, and just they'll be the same fabric, but to bring the pockets out and to bring the Project Dresser Girl labels out, because you want the labels to be visible. That's why I had been doing like a plain pocket so that the label was real visible. But I think if I use a trim on the pockets and then maybe put the label just above the trim, that it would be there, the eyes would be drawn to the trim and they would see the labels. The visual aspect of the labels is a real deterrent for people that would try to endanger these little girls. All right. That's what I'm thinking. Watch the mail. Okay, Angie, I will. Well, I'm so glad you came over from Project Dresser Girl Project. It is the one thing I do, it seems, every year. I was going to stop after last year, but then I ordered more labels. So I've got probably 40 more labels up there that need to be used. And my youngest sister, she doesn't sew, but she always steps up and she helps out with fabric or, a gift card so I can get fabric. And she gets a lot out of helping me. So I don't know if she's going to do it this year, but I know that she really got a hoot out of shopping with me for fabric for the little girls, and that she enjoys it too. My youngest sister does a lot. Well, my younger two sisters, Robin and Rhonda. Not sure if Hazel does any kind of charity type work or anything like that, but I know that my two teaching sisters, one teaches at the University of South Carolina and one teaches at an elementary school. She's an art teacher, but they are always involved with programs like, I know my sister's Society for Creative Anachronisms group, the SCA, they do a toy drive at Christmas. And I think they do other educational programs, because in that society that she's a member of, they go and they do, what is it called when they come and show you? Well, they go and they show the different medieval activities, fencing, all that kind of medieval war type activities. They go and they do that. They set up they have shops. Like my sister does Roman pottery. And so she'll feature a demonstration on her Roman pottery. And then another person might show medieval period sewing or stitching techniques. So yeah, we all kind of reach out and do stuff. My youngest sister, Rhonda, she does works with a toy drive as well. And I know she also does an event between her college level students and some elementary middle school kids where they pair up the college kid with the middle school or what, I can't remember the age group, but I think it's middle school. They pair them up to encourage mathematics in the younger kids. So yeah, and Rhonda she doesn't sew or anything. Robin and I have always sewn and done, art and stuff. But Rhonda does so much more in other ways. So yeah. So let me see what else. Did I miss anything? Everybody's just saying hi to one another. Kathy wants to know, Shannon, if you and Sarah Bear had a good day. I hope she's healing well. Cool. So that's about all I have. I'm saying so a lot, so I know I need to end. Howard's laying in the sun, but he's trying to get his face out of the sun. So he's got his face hidden behind the curtain. It's hilarious to watch him over there fidgeting, trying to get in there. Oh, she's back to work. Wow. Oh, it just said an ad was inserted. Sorry. I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you in another video. As soon as I can prepare my table and find the liquid vinyl, I will come on and we'll put the vinyl on here. I think I need a paintbrush too. That won't matter if I ruin it with the liquid vinyl. All right. Take care. See you later.